Hello there, it's me, Earthmanbrick, and we're back. We're going to be doing another TTCombat MDF kit. It's this bad boy, the ruined drive-thru. Now, we've done the drive-thru before, an unruined version. This is it all here. It came with various gubbins and such like. And we've got this one here to start making up. Oh, thanks for jumping onto the scene now, Poppy. That's very helpful. Yes, yeah, just pop yourself there, that's fine. So, what I decided to do is we're going to make this up. And I thought, it looks a bit sparse. There's not a whole lot of details or rubble or anything. So I thought, well, this will give me a good chance to really spruce this one up. So, let's look at the details on it. So, it comes on 4 MDF sheets and 1 grey board. Grey board is basically like thin card. I think it's just hidden underneath here. But yeah, so it's more or less like a half sheet of grey board. And so yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to make up a whole bunch of rubble tiles. And we do that by taking cork sheet and sandwiching in some scrim tape. So I've got some ready-made pieces all up here. These are already painted up. You can see it's all painted up grey and then some orangey kind of red for the rebar. And it's not actual wire because it's scrim tape. It's actually made from a fiberglass mesh. So it's if you accidentally stab yourself, you're not going to get any harm. Plus it's flexible, so it's not going to break either. So I thought, yeah, that would do quite well to add some piles of rubble to the build. So I've got that ready, and I thought I'd try something new. So what I've done is I've taken on a whole sheet. What I do is whenever I'm spray painting something, I will typically get an old pizza box and I'll use that. So this one was already textured with plenty of paint, so what I've done is I've just gone over it with some red paint and some shades of black, and I've just kind of stippled it on there just to create some tonal gradation and whatnot, and give it that sort of kind of a dark red texture, which should match the color scheme we've got here. So I've got that all going on. And what I thought I'd do is I would take this, cut it out, and add it to some of these rubble piles. So it looks like it's part of the roof and part of the building that's caved in. And I thought, yeah, that might work. Gives it a bit more character. So just trying something new to experiment with. So we've got that on the go. And I thought, well, we could just leave it there, but no, I want to go the extra mile, so we're going to be breaking out this stuff again. This is the green forest moss. When I was ordering this, I was looking up artificial, but apparently this is a real thing, and it's a bloody lifetime supply. I've already used it in several builds, and I've barely used a pinch worth. So I'm going to break this out and start hammering it onto the build. I'll also use some olive wash and stuff and start sprinkling that on as well. So I'm going to get to assembling this. And yeah, so bye for now. See you again soon. Hello there, and we're back. So we're cracking on with this build, the ruined drive-thru. This is the non-ruined version here, just for comparison. Because I was using that to sort of come up with the paint scheme and everything. So I've just been painting everything still on the sprue frames, just because it makes it a lot easier. So these are the corners for the building there. We've got the signpost. This is for the large menu. So that'll be relatively the same. And we've just used Sharpies to block in all the colors. Why go out of your way to try and paint that type of thing with a brush? Just doesn't make sense. A lot easier with a pen. So we've got that. We've been painting up the walls, and I've been doing something a little bit differently because you might see the fire door here. It looks a bit crap. I'm not overly impressed. It's good if you're not going to bother painting it or anything. You need something just quickly done and on the board. But what I've done is I've gone and raided the PPE catalog and found an actual fire exit sign. So I put that on instead, and I think that's a little bit better. And rather than just have a drawing of a doorknob, what I've done is I've put on one of those push bars for the fire release exit. So I've gone and done that slightly differently there. With all these squares, what I did was I hit it up with white spray paint. You can still see it's not fully caked on there. And then just gone over it with a black marker pen to make all the checkers. Takes time, but it's time well spent. We've got the air conditioning unit here. I'm not sure where this bit goes, but I'll figure it out on the assembly process and paint it appropriately. So we've got that sprue there. Got this one here. This is the reverse side of it, because it's best to paint both sides while you can, while it's nice and flat, because once it's all assembled it can be a bit difficult getting into all the various corners and bits and bobs. Now there's parts of the build that I won't be making up, like this whole bit is unpainted because that's meant to be barrels, but I'm not really interested in making barrels, so I think I might save these for some sort of other build and project. Cross that bridge in another time. But yeah, we've also got the waste bin there, which I'm not going to bother with. I've got more than enough waste bins, don't need another. And there we go, there's a sign all there. I'll paint that proper once it's all assembled. We've got more bits of the sign there. These sections I've just painted yellow just to keep in with these parts here. And yeah, just generally winging it. So that's it all painted up, all in the sprue, which I find is a hell of a lot easier, a lot less stressful. And now I'm going to get to assembling it. I imagine it's only going to take about 5-10 minutes, but I'll do a quick time lapse. So bye for now. See you again soon. Hello there, and we're back. It's me, your friendly neighborhood earthmanbrick. And I thought I'd start out with this sprue frame. So we've got this one here. We've not used the extra tiles, but we've used everything else. So there's that. There's this one where we've not used and made up the bin because we've got 1,000,001 bins. Sack that. Got this one. This is the parts for the, what is it? Those are the wooden boards that you would stick over the windows. The rest are all for the barrels. Did we use them? Did we buggery? No. This one we fully used, again, except from these wooden planks, because they don't, I mean, when they're this thick, it doesn't look like a regular plank, and it just seems a bit daft. Like, why would someone be living in an absolute hovel? Makes no sense. And then we've got this one here. So 4 nice empty sprue frames and a card one. So I'm going to put those all to one side. So how did we get on with our build? Well, I'll compare the small bits first. So here's the original menu board, and here's our updated one. So on this one we've got lots of cracks that don't actually join up at both ends, which isn't a crack, that would be a hairline fracture. And the thing is, with a hairline fracture that's sort of half creeping in like that, you wouldn't actually be able to visibly see it, so it looks crap at the end of the day. You can see this sort of thing with slabs and stuff. If you go out in the street and you start looking down at the pavement, you will see that cracks join at both ends. They don't just go in halfway. But anyway, So that's our menu boards. And I've just added on a whole bunch of moss, some tufts, and I've put on some lime green and stuff as well, just to make it look overgrown, because we're going with an overgrown aesthetic for our ruined one. So that's the menu board. What else we got? We've got the sandwich board. That's this thing here. And as you can see, not a whole lot of difference. Again, lots of cracks that sort of don't join up at the ends. Looks a bit weird, a bit crap. There's also holes. Don't make any sense whatsoever. Am I impressed? No. Am I glad we've got another menu? Yes, but what's wrong with this one? We could have just done that again. I mean, you can weather it up yourself. You don't need to have holes in it. You can poke holes in it if you want. Anyway, I thought that was a bit daft. And then we've got the speaker. So here it is here. This is the one we've got with the good kit. This one for the ruined kit. I probably should have added a bit more stains. But yeah, I've added on a whole bunch of moss and stuff. It looks more or less the same, really. Not much difference there. It's good enough. But here's the build itself. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna hold it up. So you can see here, we start with the top. We've added our concrete rubble piles onto the roof section here, and here's the bits of card that we've stuck on top to make it look like a proper ruin. And I think the green against the red, really, they're complementary colors in the color wheel, and I think that works magically. Very happy with these results, to be honest. And yes, we've if I swing around this side, you can see here we've gone and put in acetate for the windows. I didn't bother putting in any cracks or cuts in the thing. I thought, good enough. Yeah, that whole sort of bit there, that's just super glue from me handling it with my fingers. And I think it adds to it. Yeah, sometimes happy accidents do happen. So yep, we've got all that. And I've broken up, and you probably won't be able to see it, but I broke up a lot of the excess acetate into small little triangles and glued it on in the inside there. Can you see it? From this angle, yes. That's them all there. But yeah, I think that kind of adds to it. What I've also added is on here, I've added a bar for this fire exit, and I've also gone and raked the PPE catalogue and cut out a fire exit sign, because the sign that's there, you'll be able to see it here, that fire door sign looks a bit crap. I think I much prefer the PPE catalogue one. And there's a handle on the back of the thing, which I've covered up with a bar. Pretty happy with that result. And yes, you can see how this moss, you can just let it go wild, and it took ages to glue it all on and hide all the obvious MDF bits. Like there was little slots here and there. But I think it works. Would I recommend this kit? Probably not. I'd recommend you get this one instead. This one's the better kit. This one, all the ruined bits and things, they just look a bit crap because, again, oh look, they've got an actual crack on the thing that joins at both ends. Well done. You got one of the cracks right on the whole bloody thing. But yeah, a lot of the other cracks, just, they don't join up at both ends. I mean, you could go around with a biro pen and add them, but I mean, what's the point in putting in all that extra work when you can just take the regular kit and smash it up? But yeah, I think it's turned out alright. But that's all I've got for you today. So, thanks again for watching, and bye.